there.
Right.
Okay? Maybe that's why we can't travel faster than the speed of light, because if we could, we'd be able to get to another galaxy before they can program that galaxy.
Boom! Let's go! I already saw this. Shout out Neil deGrasse. This video's so fire, bro. Shout out Chuck. Hey, they so fire. What even is reality? What is it? Think about it. I don't know. You don't know neither. But the way I look at it, right? Even before Neil deGrasse, bro. I remember one day in high school. We gonna start the video, but we about to talk a little bit of ish. I remember one day being in high school. I'm just chilling, right? Been a gamer all my life. And I'm like, man, The Sims is crazy, dog. I'm like, it's legit like us. It's just this simulated. I'm looking over this bro. And I'm making them do things like, yeah, we're gonna do this, boom, 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 lead it this way. I'll control this way. All right, see how this go. I'm gonna test it with this human, boom, boom, boom. See how this go. Ooh, that went good. Ooh, that didn't go. Stuff like that, right? Because tomorrow your life can change. The next hour your life can change. Just like that, your life can change, right? Sometimes maybe I'm the only one who feel like this. Have you ever felt like this? And usually it's not like for a long time either. Sometimes you just feel like, I'm alone in this world. You know you're not though, but you feel it sometimes. Like, I be legit thinking like, what if I created all these people around me in my head? What if they're not here? Even the ones I love. Thinking like this get deep for me, and I love talking about stuff like this, bro. Me and my bro, we be chopping it up about stuff like this. It be fire, dog. And Crowley, usually you're hard on the video, so with this topic, I know you about to give me everything I want right now. I know you about to. Bro, we about to go ahead and check out people that slipped out of reality. Hope your day going great. Now let's make it better. But we about to watch this and talk some ish. Stop playing with me. Let's go.
There are few things more complex in this world than reality itself. It may be impossible to ever fully understand it, yet we are subjected to it every second of every day. It quite literally is our entire existence. Defined, reality is the sum of all that is real or existent within a system. But what happens when, in a split second, an event occurs that breaks the rules of that system? The rules that should be unbreakable. What happens when reality glitches?
I am privileged to be here today.
We've seen it happen before with things like the Mandela effect and doppelgangers, and all that's really interesting to me. But there's something that interests me more, and that's the idea that if the reality around us can glitch, maybe so can we.
Oh.
It's an idea that we've touched on before in my Backrooms video. You're going about living your daily life when suddenly the world around you changes until it's not even your world anymore.
Damn.
Glitching out of reality is something that most find to simply be the work of fiction, but on some occasions, these real-world malfunctions may have actually happened, with some stories going past any rational explanation. And James Tedford is about to become our first example.
Well, I'm so creeped out right now. The way he reading this and this little slow little music in the back playing, and bro, the Mandela effect is crazy, dog.
James Tedford is about to become our first example.
It's such a comfort to take the bus.
No, it ain't.
And the man who keeps his eyes closed. Mystery? There's really no mystery.
It was a snowy day in St. Alban, Vermont, in the winter of 1949, as people piled onto the public bus headed for the town of Bennington. On board, the bus was nearly filled with people, with one being a man named James Tedford. It should have been an 8-hour bus ride, and it was one that Tedford had done numerous times before. After a recent stint in World War II, Tedford found himself living in the Bennington Soldiers' Home, which, as you might have guessed, was located in Bennington. But with many of his relatives living in St. Alban, he would frequently make the long trip out to see them. But as the snow began to pile higher and higher that day, the bus ride began to drag, and it was estimated that its route was delayed by hours. As the long day of traveling went on, Tedford found himself dozing off, and by the last stretch of his trip, he had fallen asleep completely. As the bus stopped at the final station before Bennington, Tedford remained in his seat, fast asleep, as the door shut, and they headed towards their final stop. The bus would arrive in Bennington shortly after, but Tedford never would. As the bus neared the last stop, some noticed that Tedford was no longer sleeping in his seat. In fact, he was nowhere to be seen. Tedford's luggage was left in the luggage rack, and his bus timetable was still lying open in the seat where he had just been sleeping, yet there was no sign of him. But the issue was that the bus hadn't stopped since the previous station.
That's what I was thinking.
The station that Tedford was seen on board sleeping soundly through. This is something that...
Alright, but this would seem more like a missing, just somebody missing type of case. I get it though, the bus never stopped. But still, this one it didn't hit me with that creepy like you glitched. It don't hit me with that feel. But we're gonna let it finish though.
Tedford was seen on board sleeping soundly through. This is something that all 14 passengers and the bus rider told to authorities. Tedford was still on board that bus when it was heading for its last stop, but when they arrived at that next stop, he was nowhere to be found. So while the bus was moving along its last route of the day, James Tedford had vanished into thin air. But how could it be possible? If the bus hadn't stopped, then there would have been no way for him to possibly leave. James Tedford would never end up coming back to retrieve his belongings, and in fact, no one would ever hear from him after this. And despite an investigation and an extensive search by authorities...
Nigga, real talk, you gonna think it just got creepy to me. Think about it. Look, you gonna think I'm joking. What if bro lagged out? Do you think you gonna think stop playing? Real talk. Let me clear my throat. Real talk. Cause think about it. If this saw a simulation, right? It can even be online. I don't know. I'm not saying this how it is, but this is legit how I look at it sometimes, bro. It's like it's someone playing. It's like someone's controlling everything. Playing is like a game. I legit look at it like that, dog. So when I bumped into Neil deGrasse video and he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, somebody understand me out there, dog. Something happened. We're just like, boom, boom. Just have to pull the connection on bro. Hey, this is kind of creepy, though. I ain't gonna cap.
And despite an investigation and an extensive search by authorities, the last time that he would ever be seen was sleeping on that bus. It's a disappearance that seems to be completely impossible. How does one disappear from a moving public bus? How can you vanish before someone's eyes? It has caused people to wonder if, perhaps, at some point throughout that last leg of the trip, our world experienced an error. An error that removed Tedford from our reality. It's an improbable occurrence. How can our reality experience a glitch like this? And how can it even glitch in general? Well, there isn't really a concrete answer to this currently, and there likely never will be. But a theory has been proposed that could explain everything. It's a theory called the simulation theory, which explores the idea that we are currently living within a simulation. one that faces malfunctions just like any other simulation would. And yes, I understand how crazy it sounds.
Yep, don't it? And that's all I was saying. It really do sound crazy. Bruh. Just look how everything is going digital, bro. Freaking robots. Have you been seeing the robot videos lately? I ain't really a believer in like, or am I? Cause I don't really see the whole robots taking over situation. I don't see that. But the direction things are going is gonna get to the point where I'm gonna start wondering, like, hold up. But then but not even just that. Crypto, metaverse, meta, whatever. Think about it, bro. Everybody connects through Facebook. Everybody. I know a lot of people don't use it no more, but trust me, it's still so big. It's so popular. With everyone being stuck in the houses, right? Being stuck in homes, right? This whole C-19 situation going on. Boom. Everybody's stuck in homes. Needing some social activity. Some real social activity. But they're trying to make it so where virtual reality is going to be the closest we're going to get, as in, like, we're going to legit make that our life. Like, now we're living in the reality. It'd be like being in a simulator inside of a simulator. Like, look, we ain't gonna talk that ish. I hope you ain't watch this night, because I'm watching this at night, bro. So when I watch stuff like this at night, my bad for the long rants, but these type of videos, we gonna talk ish, bro. We like partners at this point, bro. I love this kind of talk. Even if we agree on the same stuff or disagree on stuff, I don't care. I just like to talk about it. Some of the stuff just be sounding like a cuckoo. I don't care. I still be like let's talk. It'd be crazy, dog. But is it really crazy?
Living within a simulation, one that faces malfunctions just like any other simulation would. And yes, I understand how crazy it sounds, but with some background information, it actually might make sense.
Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch.
Don't just watch television tonight. Play it.
40 years ago, look back and see what our video games used to look like, and now compare them to what we have today. The growth in our computing technology has happened at such an incredibly high rate, and from this point on, technology will only grow more and more. We went from hitting a ball back and forth to simulating our own little worlds within less than 50 years. And
I was just about to say that, but I didn't want to stop again because y'all talk too much. I'm telling you, on this video, we about to talk ish. I don't think it was Neil deGrasse, or it might have been somebody else. Whoever it was, correct. I was listening to some podcast recently, and someone said, "Oh, I wish I'd have stopped it before he said that, because I don't want you to think I was just feeding off that." But either way, go. This is legit what I was going to talk about next. But they was like, yeah, look how quick technology moved. And it's like, it's to the point now where I think it was Stephen Hawkins. I think he said it went too fast. It advanced too fast. It's going too fast. And it really is, dog. You be looking at these games now. The movies, like these little CGI, the kid, like animated movies, like legit, all this stuff. It's like, man, this is looking real. And it's like it's becoming reality for real. Computers took over, dog. Legit. You're not gonna make it through your day without touching on technology, dog. Unless I think Amish, right? My bad for using wrong people, my bad. But I think y'all don't use that stuff, right? But you wouldn't be able to let me know because you wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Somebody who know what the real definition is, let me know. But it's crazy, man. One more thing, last thing. You know it's crazy? Let's say if when you pass away, because no one knows what happened. We don't. What if you do become like a ghost or a spirit to the point where you can kind of look over it. You can't really do much, but you can look over, like in Among Us. When you die and you just watch over everybody. You can't do nothing. They don't even see you, but you can watch everybody. And what if at that point I have more access to shit? Because it's so much stuff I want to know in this world. Man, stop playing with me, dog. Because at that point, I'm no longer in touch with reality. So I can know what's going on now. It's like you got access to look at everything now. Ooh. I should have my partner here with me watching this. Next time I watch a video like this, I'm gonna have my bro with me. We about to talk ish.
Simulating our own little worlds within less than 50 years. And on the timeline of our existence, that's such a minuscule bit of time. So assuming that humans will remain living for thousands and thousands of more years, let's imagine how advanced the technology will become. I mean, at some point, our technology will get so advanced that our computers and games might be able to replicate free will. Which means the non-player characters within a game will be so advanced that they can make their own decisions, have emotions, and be able to touch and feel things. This would be the equivalent of them having their own mind and gives them the ability to think for themselves. Once that happens, then the game or simulation is their reality. That's all they would know. So they would have no way of knowing that they are actually just a simulated being, unknowingly living in a world that, on a physical level, doesn't even exist. And with the way our technology has...
Nigga, you an NPC? Stop playing with me, dog!
Doesn't even exist. And with the way our technology has been advancing and is projected to continue to advance, it seems that there's a good chance that this could be possible in the future. But this is where the theory gets a lot deeper. Once we have the ability to create a simulation where the characters truly think they're real, then those sims will start to advance. In that simulation, the idea of a simulated world wouldn't be invented yet, so eventually they would invent it for themselves. And when they do, they would run it and create another simulated world. And then that world would do the same thing, and it would keep going and going and going.
Someone programs a universe, and in there they gain maturity and technology, and then they program.
My bad. You know, it's crazy. The clip I put in the beginning, it was just legit me taken from that video. The fact that he's actually in this video, stop playing with me. He had to be. For a title like this, he had to be. Stop playing. Homie so fire, dog.
Would do the same thing, and it would keep going and going and going.
Someone programs a universe, and in there they gain maturity and technology, and then they program a universe. And then they program a universe. So you can have nested, simulated universes all the way down, but there's only one real universe.
And each time that simulation is run, it'll lead to millions of more simulated worlds, all filled with sims who have no idea that their world doesn't physically exist.
What did I say at the beginning? I hope I ain't no NPC. But still. I was like, what if I created all these people around me, bro? I'm sitting here talking to a camera right now. I'm gonna talk to you in the comment section, right? What if I'm not even here? What if you created me, dog? Think about it. Shit get creepy, don't it? What if you ain't even watching me? You created me in your head. What if I created you? You're not even there. I can't see you. I don't even know if you're there, right? That's crazy to think about, man. This issue gets so creepy, though. I love this. Hey, can we kick a little more ish? Can we kick a little bit more? I loved my teachers. I told you I love school. I used to cut up, but I loved it. A lot of my teachers were cool. I was cool with a lot of them. But one teacher I really felt really close like. I really felt like you're giving me something that's really amazing in life and I don't even know it yet. Hey, he was my biology teacher. He was like a scientist. He was cool as shit. He was the chess club leader when I was in chess club. He was the chess club he was the person who ran it. He was so fire too. His name, shout out Mr. Virgilio, bro. I don't know where you from, Flint, bro. Man, I wonder how bro doing. Flint, Michigan. He was my teacher, dog, in Longfellow Middle School. He was cold as hell in chess. He was so cold if you beat him, he give you an A. He didn't cap. I only know if one person ever beat him. What my ass. And he legit gave him an A right there. Boom. He was so fire. But this dude mine, bro. It felt like he was just more advanced than like the other teachers. His hair, it was like you electrocute him. He was crazy. He was bummy, but not bummy. It was like it's some old clothes. They probably smelled like weed. But he had a peppermint in his mouth all the time. He was smart as shit though, dog. But he used to tell me so much dope ass shit in chess club that I ain't about to get into because we've been talking so long. But the stuff I felt like he knew was like, man, I think you were too advanced for these people. What if he was a glit? What if scientists are glit? And what if that wrong bug in their head is what triggered them to become like serial killers or something? Because I ain't gonna cap. Sometimes they be smart. A lot of them be smart. Man, we just talking ish tonight.
Who have no idea that their world doesn't physically exist. So basically what I'm saying is that once one of these simulated worlds is created, then it opens the door for billions and billions and trillions of other simulated worlds to come after it. So let's look at that from our perspective. Where does that leave us? Does that make us the one true reality that hasn't created simulations yet? Or are we one of the trillions of simulations that were created after its invention? I mean, it's crazy, but really think about it. If you believe that this level of simulation is going to be possible in the future, that means that the chances of us living in the one true reality right now would be 1 in billions. This is a point that people like Elon Musk and Neil deGrasse Tyson have even showed support for in the past.
So given that we're clearly on a trajectory to have games that are indistinguishable from reality, and those games could be played on any set-top box or on a PC or whatever, and there would probably be, billions of such.
Even though I rocks for Elon Musk, in my head, him and Mark Zuckerberg, one of them are like the final boss. That's just how I look at both of them. I rocks with Elon though. I ain't gonna lie, Elon, he cold, bro. And he low-key a troll, too.
Musk and Neil deGrasse Tyson have even showed support for in the past.
So given that we're clearly on a trajectory to have games that are indistinguishable from reality, and those games could be played on any set-top box or on a PC or whatever, and there would probably be, billions of such, computers or set-top boxes, it would seem to follow that the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions.
I mean, not that that proves anything, but they're a lot smarter than I am, and that lends some credibility to this theory. And though this sounds like a wild conspiracy, this actually is a fairly well-researched scientific theory that many scientists are unironically exploring at the moment. Now, truthfully, there is so much more to this topic that it would just take hours and hours to fully explain it, so I'll just leave it at that. But hopefully that at least made some sense, because it seems to be the basis for understanding how these real-world malfunctions could be possible, because every game and every simulation has glitches along the way, and some are worse than others. Some are worse than just the removal of one person. People disappear quite frequently within our world, and though most turn up a short time later, sometimes people really do vanish without a trace. And while it's difficult enough to understand how this could be possible, what is even more confusing are cases of mass disappearances. Cases where rather than just one person vanishing, it's a whole group. It's not something that commonly happens, but
Like, bro, it be like stories of like whole planes or just whole boats just gone. Mass people just gone. You telling me you can't find none of this? You know what else crazy? Like he said, some glitches may not just be getting rid of just you, or just like, oh, you being removed or something. We've seen a few videos where people just be like normal, boom, click, things change. You know what's crazy, dog? Like a few days ago, I just started back watching. Man, rest in peace, man. I legit love this dude as a YouTuber, bro. I loved this dude, bro. Like it felt like I knew, bro. I just started back watching Etika. And I was just like trying to figure out, like, man, what went on, what happened. And it was just weird. I remember when it first started, man, I thought he was just trying to get his views up. He trolling, doing every boom, boom, boom. Even though he didn't have to do that, his name rang bells, bro. Bro was fire. If you know who he was, I don't say bro was fire, bro. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, he ain't got a clout chase, bro. This dude is legit fire. So I'm like, man, what was happening? And then I still remember his channel when that Pino, will upload it. And I was like, man, he trying to get banned? And then that's when I started getting worried, dog. And I was just thinking, like, man, what happened? Hey, I don't know. It should get crazy. My bad for the stopping, but honestly, I don't care because I feel like I'm really talking to y'all that I made up in my head. That's crazy right now, but I'm enjoying it. I'm talking to a camera right now. Hoping you there with me, understanding, or even if you're not understanding, you're still debating. Hopefully it's someone on the other end just legit chatting it up. Woo.
Disappearances. Cases where rather than just one person vanishing, it's a whole group. It's not something that commonly happens, but when it does, it often defies all logical explanation, with perhaps one of the earliest recorded examples of this being the Roanoke colony. It happened all the way back in 1585, when European settlers established a colony on the island of Roanoke, but almost instantly, the settlement began running into issues. For starters, they failed to ever gain peaceful relations with the Native Americans in the area. Plus, the resources there were not plentiful enough to fully support the colony. Because of this, a supply ship was sent back to Europe to restock and bring goods back to the already struggling colony. When the supply ship left Roanoke in 1587, its captain estimated that they would be back within a year to give fresh goods to the settlers. However, upon the ship's arrival back in Europe, a war broke out, pushing back the ship's return voyage. It wouldn't be until 1590 that the ship would make it back to Roanoke, but there was no one to go back to. They arrived to find the settlement looking perfectly preserved, but totally abandoned. There was no signs of a struggle, and all
nothing. Hella people. No signs. Crazy. Where? Stop playing with me.
But totally abandoned. There was no signs of a struggle, and all the settlers' belongings were left behind. The only clue that the settlers left was the word Croatoan, which had been carved into a palisade. This may have been an indication that the settlers had moved to a nearby island by that name, but unfortunately, the supply ship was never able to search that island due to poor weather conditions. There was estimated to have been around 120 settlers living at the outpost at the time, and they all had seemingly vanished into thin air, and none were ever seen again. And despite the immense popularity that this case now has, and the modern technology that has been used to try and figure it out, the mystery has never been solved. Researchers have searched for the remains of the settlers to try and determine if they were attacked by Native Americans, but remains of the settlers were never found in Roanoke, making it almost impossible that they had been killed there by Native Americans. Plus, there was no sign of a struggle, which would have been highly unlikely if the group were actually attacked. Researchers have also searched the area of Croatoan, but again, no remains or even any artifacts were found that could have proved that the Roanoke colony had...
And this story is one of the reasons why I believe in, like, it's like a whole nother world underground.
Even any artifacts were found that could have proved that the Roanoke colony had actually moved there. There are currently companies set up entirely to help in solving this case, yet nothing has come of it. And based off of what I've read, it doesn't appear that they have discovered a single piece of conclusive physical evidence. It's really like this group just dropped off the face of...
Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm loving this video. This is so fire. I love stuff like this. This is so fire.
Evidence. It's really like this group just dropped off the face of the Earth. To this day, there remains dozens of theories to try and explain this event, but no one has pieced it together. With this in mind, many have come to the conclusion that this was another example of a major reality glitch.
Woo!
Maybe some kind of error within our simulation caused the colony to be wiped from existence.
Start over.
And though one might think that something like this could never happen in this day and age, that's actually far from the case.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
We're seamlessly connected than ever to every corner of the world.
Is this what I was just talking about?
It's estimated that over 44,000 flights take off and land each day throughout the world, delivering in total roughly 2.7 million passengers. And typically, these flights go off without a hitch, as the vast majority of them make it back safely. And when the passengers boarded Malaysian Flight 370 on March 8th of 2014, they would have had no clue that they were about to become the exception.
Damn.
A Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
Flight 370 took off from Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m. and was headed for Beijing. 227 passengers were on board, as well as 12 crew members. As the flight entered Vietnamese airspace, the plane's pilot radioed in to air traffic control with these chilling words. That would be the final message sent out from Flight 370. The plane would go on to disappear, along with all 239 people.
Was he saying that as in like legit good night? But I've never heard that on the plane. I never heard them say good night because they don't know if you're going to sleep. Was he saying it as in like he knows something bad's what's happening and he had no control? Like, dang, I can't stop this? Or was it like, I'm about to do something? Of course, y'all don't know. We don't know. But that is creepy. Just hearing that is creepy, dog. And you know, it's made me think of, I don't know if you ever watched a show called Manifest. So fire. Me and my girl love that show. We hella watched it. I need to finish the recent season. But that show is so freaking good, dude. It's basically to something similar like this. And then they I don't want to spoil it, my bad.
That would be the final message sent out from Flight 370. The plane would go on to disappear, along with all 239 people on board. To this day, neither the plane or its complete wreckage has ever been found. And despite there being many theories on what may have happened, there remains no solid conclusion as to where the plane went. Part of what makes this story so terrifying to me, as well as many others, is how a full-size Boeing airplane could just disappear. With the technology that this world has, I would have never imagined anything like this happening in a million years. And even after this became one of the biggest news stories of the decade, we still have yet to find any real evidence, any proof as to where this plane went. All eyes were on this topic. Everyone was searching for this plane, and yet it never turned up.
34 helicopters, 40 ships, even submarines, desperately looking for clues.
With all the resources that were used to search for it, something would have surely been discovered. And yet here we are years later with nothing but scraps of evidence. Because of this, there are many theories out there that have tried to explain how a plane like this could just vanish. And it's within these countless theories that we find one related to this video. Maybe the plane encountered a reality glitch. A glitch much like James Tedford and the entire Roanoke colony might have faced many years ago. A glitch that removed the plane from our world. Now I'm left with a ton of questions after exploring the world of reality glitches. But one question still burns in my mind. If all this is true, and people and things can really glitch out of our world, then where do they go?
Yup.
Would that person just cease to exist?
Yup.
Or would people survive the glitch and find themselves in some sort of...
Hey, you know what? I thought about that too. Sometimes I feel like when people go like crazy like that, stuff like that, I feel like that be what happening sometimes. Cause it was one case I was watching. It was like someone came up missing, and not even like a criminal or nothing. I don't even remember what it was. Just came up missing. Life was good. It wasn't like nobody was basically life was good. It just came up missing. Boom. Nobody knew where this person at. And then somebody I guess randomly bumped into the person. They was just living like a whole nother life. Didn't even know about the other name. Crazy. Like they just continued and picked up right there and just like, and it was just living.
Or would people survive the glitch and find themselves in some sort of other reality? Perhaps they glitch into an area outside of the map, an area that wouldn't be rendered by the simulation.
Oh.
If it truly wasn't rendered.
Last stop. See what he said? The clip that I put at the beginning is crazy. See, I said it wasn't rendered yet. I don't know if you're not a gamer, so I'm gonna kind of explain that to you. Kind of similar like when you watch porn and it has to buffer. Let's say I'm playing a game. I don't know, I'm playing World of Warcraft. And I'm looking far out. But I don't see anything because it would make sense for the game to use that much memory loaded until I can see that far. Because it'll mess things up. So it's like, no, keep it at a level so that when you get closer, I'll know, oh, a little more has to render so you can see more. Like Chuck said at the beginning, he is like the reason why we can't travel faster than the speed of light. Because we'll get there before it renders, before it buffers there. So like you see that moon, like, oh, I know it's there. If I was able to go that fast, boom, I get there like, whoa, moon is not even here right now. What the hell's going on? Because in reality, it's not there. I'm not saying that, like telling that. I'm just going off just theory, just talking about stuff here. So I don't want you to run with none of this. Like, well, Charlie said, nah. You always do your own research. Always. This is stuff I be thinking about. It's crazy, right? I don't know. Might sound crazy to you, but man, sometimes I do be wondering, like, am I really crazy? Because it's really hard for me to meet people in person who understand me, and I wonder if that's why I'm like so goofy. Because most people who know me, they usually get a laugh off of me, which is cool. But when it comes down to like the way I think for real, it scares me because I know it's gonna touch an argument because I know you're not gonna think the way I think. I know it. I don't give a damn what race you are. I don't give a damn what gender you are. I'm not there to offend you. It's just the way I see things sometimes. Sometimes it kind of scares me sometimes. But I see things so different compared to the average person that I know. Like, I don't see things that way. I don't know why. And it's not like a crazy way. Like, I'm not like crazy, like a serial killer, nothing like that. I just look at certain things different. And when I tell people that, and then when we talk, they see that. And it's like, I don't do it to be funny. I don't do it to purposely trigger you. I legit see life like that. I'm purposely not talking about stuff because I ain't here to offend you right now. This is a fire video. I'm enjoying talking to y'all who I made up right now. It's the end of the video anyway. We're gonna let it finish.
Perhaps they glitch into an area outside of the map, an area that wouldn't be rendered by the simulation.
Yep.
If it truly wasn't rendered, then maybe the area would just be a void, an endless plane of darkness and nothingness, an area that you would be permanently stuck in, surrounded by nothing.
I hope you don't just see that.
Alone for the rest of your eternity.
I hope you
which
do
is
not
a
see that.
horrifying thought.
Yep.
For that reason alone, I hope that none of this is true.
Oh! I was thinking about that, man. And I really think about it a lot now. Me purposefully, I'm not looking this stuff up because I don't want to. Like, a lot of y'all know I just recently lost my mom. And I think about that a lot. Like, what's going on for her right now? Like, do she even see anything? What do she see? If she see anything, do she see anything? Is she thinking anything? Did she actually move on to it? Reincarnate into someone else? Did she actually move to another planet? Is it like a simulator for real? Is she legit there looking over like, oh shit, I can see everything? Like, what really? Or is it really just black? And that's what I do not want. I do not want that for no one. That's one thing I'm hoping it's not. Like, man, and honestly, it's like, I don't know what it is. But in my head, what I lean towards the most, me, I don't know about you, what I lean towards the most, I'm like, man, I legit believe it's like this a test here. And then when you move on, boom, it's much better. Because I'm not gonna cap, bro. Sometimes Earth feels like hell. Like, I'm not gonna cap to you, dog. Earth can be shitty, man. People can be shitty, dog. Crazy, man. And the crazy part is, you'll be hearing stories like people be like friends for like 18, 20 years, and boom, you hear the most fucked up stories, excuse my language. And you be like, I thought I knew this mom. Hey. On me, though. Can't help it. That's how this brain in my head think, man. It's just me. I got my opinion, you have your own opinion, all right? Hey, I'm about to go get up out of here, though. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. I'm about to go and get up out of here, dog. Get chill. Spooked out. Probably watch me some cartoons, some laugh. Probably watch me some Jamie Foxx. About to chill, dog. But for real, though, all jokes aside, just be easy tonight. Regardless of whatever it is, don't stress over it because we don't know. But while you here, enjoy that shit. Have a good time. I'm out.